Hey everyone, so today's topic is presentation layer. Before knowing about this presentation layer, let us know the three-tier architecture. What is three-tier architecture? This three-tier architecture is an architecture which separates its layers from each other in two ways. That is, first one is on the basis of the complexity of the user, and the second is how the user uses the data present in the database. So this three-tier architecture is the most widely used architecture to design the database management system. Okay, that is DBMS. It is the most widely used architecture. So we can see in the diagram that it has three layers, that is presentation layer, application layer and database layer. As I told, I'll be explaining about the presentation layer. So let us go in deep to know about the presentation layer. The presentation layer, it is a front end layer in the three-tier system, and it consists of a user interface, and this user interface is a graphical interface which is accessible by web browsers or web based application, and this user interface displays the contents and the information which is useful for the end user. And this presentation layer is built on the web technologies such as HTML, JavaScript and CSS, or through other popular web development frameworks, and communicates with other layers through API calls. This presentation layer communicates, for example, if it wants to communicate with a middle layer or an database layer, then it will use API calls. Now let us move on to the next slide to know about HTML forms. So HTML forms are the common way of communicating data from the client tier to the middle tier. They have shown the general format of the HTML forms here, that is form. Here form is a tag, and under this tag action, method and name are the attributes. Okay, so form action is equals to page.jsp, method is equals to get, and name is equals to login form, and then the form tag has been closed here. A single HTML document can contain more than one form. That is, one HTML document can contain more than one form, and inside this HTML form we can have any number of HTML tags except this form tag. Then the form tag has three important attributes, as they had shown in the general format, that is action, method and name were the attributes, right? So they are the important attributes of the form tag. So let us know what this action, method, name tells. Okay, so action attribute specifies the URL of the page to which the form contents are submitted. So it shows the URL of the page to which the form contents are to be submitted. Okay, and then comes the method attribute. So this is used to submit the user input from the filled out form to the web server. So whatever the user has provided, means whatever input has been provided by the user to the form are submitted to the web browser, and the name attribute is used to give the form a name. Okay, so inside this HTML forms, the input, select and text area tags are used to specify the user input elements. Now comes the JavaScript. However, we know about Java, right? Java is a language. Similarly, JavaScript is also a language. So it says here that JavaScript is a scripting language at the client tier, that is presentation layer, right, with which we can add programs to the web pages that can run directly at the client side. So this JavaScript language helps to add the programs on the web pages, which can directly run by the client side, right? So JavaScript is often used for the following steps of computation at the client side. That is browser detection. So it detects the browser. Form validation. Form validation is nothing but it checks the form is valid or not. Then the third one is browser control. So it controls the browser. And JavaScript is usually embedded into an HTML document with a special tag. So this special tag is script tag. The script tag has the attribute language. This attribute language indicates the language in which the script has been written. And also there is another attribute called src. This attribute specifies the external file with JavaScript code that is automatically embedded into the HTML document. So usually JavaScript source code files uses a .js extension. So if a file uses a .js extension, then it is understood that it is a JavaScript file. Okay, here they have shown the general format of the JavaScript in a HTML document, that is script language is equals to JavaScript, src is equals to validate form.js. So .js is a JavaScript file extension, right? So validate form.js and script tag has been closed here. JavaScript provides two different commenting styles, that is single line commenting style and a multi-line commenting style. In a single line commenting style, it starts with a double backslash characters, and in a multi-line commenting style, it starts with a backslash and a star and it ends with a star and a backslash. JavaScript has the usual assignment operators like is equals to, plus is equals to, etc. and arithmetic operators such as plus, minus, into, divided by, modulus. Also comparison operators like equal to, not equal to, then greater than or equal to, etc. It also contains Boolean operators such as logical and, logical or, and negation. Also, strings can be concatenated using plus character. JavaScript contains the usual types of statements such as assignment statements, conditional statements like if condition, else. Also, the loops like for loop, do while and while loop. JavaScript allows us to create functions using the function keyword. We can call function from the JavaScript code and functions can return values using the keyword return. We can call the functions in the JavaScript code, okay, and the functions returns the values using the keyword written here. So we have come to an end of this topic. Hope you guys have understood. Thank you.